born Vichail. Cambodian name is Vichail, and my last name is Mut. And then when I came to the United States, I changed my name completely to Stephen, and last name Marshall. I was born in Siem Reap, and then we moved. Most of my family, my parents, my dad, they all born in Battambang, but originally born in Siem Reap. We all moved and live in Battambang most of my life there.
And what was the reason that you immigrated to the USA?
Well, it's not so much reason. It's more like to escape the communist regime. Because we don't know what would be after, because the country was not stable then. After the Khmer collapse in 1979, we don't have any leadership, we don't have any guideline what's gonna happen to us. The best way to do is to leave the country, to escape the country. Yeah, and the last but not least is to looking for a better opportunity for my sibling, my father, my mother, and the family. Opportunity is hard to come by, and it's just like opportunity knock, you better take advantage of it. And we can talk in that a little later about the opportunity knocks.
So when you came to United States, can you tell me a little bit how you immigrant to here and by yourself?
We could go all the way back to when we first, I would say, not escape, but leaving the territory that is a hostile environment, per se. We left our own village. This is the beginning. We came to Battambang, where our original city that we used to live. And then we don't have place to go, and we keep on moving. And then we stay in cities called Svai Sisapon for about a couple of months, give and take. Again, just to rephrase a little bit. When all things happening, you do not think about what day and time and what year, what month, because it's not really a generation that you have watches, you have calendars, you don't have all of that per se, because you don't have it. So you go on to whatever day is coming up. You know what I mean? So now you don't, today, tomorrow is Wednesday. No, we don't have that. We don't have idea that that's gonna happen. We should go on as the day go by. So we stay at city Svai Sisapon for about 5 to 6 months, and then we move on from there. And then if you can ask my nephew, and he's the one that her husband, we left Svai Sisapon, and we actually followed this path to go into the camp, between Thai and Cambodian border. Because from what I figured, for a little bit, from what I understand, because I'm not thinking about who am I going to deal with, but just the fact that my mom said, okay, let's go. We're going to follow his footsteps, his idea, his the guideline, his what he wanted where to go. So we're going to stay there for a couple of months, which is called Chambrom, at the Thai border and Cambodian border. The journey from Svai Sisapon to the camp, it's just like one path with waters up to here. And my nephew is on my back because I have to carry him. He's only about 5 years old, I think. He's pretty young. So everybody carry a little thing. My mom, my dad, and brothers and sisters, and my sister, they all carry the thing. And I have my nephew with me. So the path that we have to walk through, it's only one way. I mean, you can't move to the side because it still have a lot of minefield along that line. So somehow someone cleared the path for us. So in other words, you can't move away from the path. That it will take us about almost the whole night and almost half the day. When we got to the camp, we kind of settled down a little bit. The United States, it's the non-profit organization that actually provides food, waters, everything that we can live off of temporarily. We stayed there for a couple of months, if I could remember correct. Then they call us, hey, we're gonna take you from there to get a better environment that you can live off better. So we take us to Khao Dang, which is in Thailand. So when we got there, my dad write a letter which is requesting for sponsorship. I mean, that's the only way that you can actually come to the United States. You send out letters asking if anybody interesting of, well, you know, I wish I would read the letter, but I didn't get a chance to. It would be for my best interest to see what he wrote and sent out to different organizations. And from what my dad told me, that YMCA was going to sponsor us in the United States. And one story I tell you is that when I was there in Khao Dang, it's just the nature of human that you don't stay in one place, you move around so much. I always go into Thailand because I would sneak out the camp and go into Thailand. My mom was always worried about me that if they would have, let's say, okay, well, we're going to take you tomorrow and take you to the United States. He would worry about me that I never make it back to the camp and go with them. Because I left to go either hunting, whatever it is, buying, doing business with people there. So I don't stay even here in the United States, I'm all over. I'm not staying in one place. Because I'm staying with a lot of people. You learn a lot. And my mom was worried about that I might not make it with them if they would have, okay, tomorrow you leave it because I won't be here to go with. So she always tells me, don't go anywhere too long. Come back here as soon as you can. If something happened, all together. Then it'd be like late, let me rephrase, early 1980, like close to like toward the end of 1980. And they decide, okay, we're going to sponsor you. YMCA is going to sponsor us, and they're going to take us to the United States. That is the first sign of a golden opportunity. I mean, where do you get the opportunity? It hurts me.
Take your time. Feel free to request and
Take a little bit break.
we can take a break.
No, it's okay. It hurts you because the golden opportunity is here. We left Khao Dang, and then they put us in a camp called in Philippines called Bataan. That is the place where they kind of give you the opportunity to learn a little bit about the United States before they bring you over. So they send you to school to get a little bit of kind of. You just see the sign, just looking for the job. Like you see the sign on the window to say, help wanted or something. That means they looking for someone to go to work. It kind of give you a little bit of a sign or something that you want to look for, or something that you're gonna see, the feel. So 1981, we was able to get on the plane. First thing we landed was in San Francisco. We don't have a lot of clothes, so they took us to, I'm not sure who they are, but they put on the bus, they took us to this. It's just like a Purple Heart warehouse. You can pick up all the used clothes all you want because nobody's gonna buy new clothes for you. We go to San Francisco. First time ever we see Golden Gate Bridge. That was 1980. We don't even know what it is. just the bridge, really long, red in color, because they go from the airport to the Purple Heart warehouse to pick up clothes, pick up a lot of used clothes. We'll take what we can. The next day, we board the plane to go to Texas. We'll go stay in the YMCA building for about 2 months. At that time, they decide you have to go. We'll assist you to find your place to stay. And I want to give the credit to the Cambodian organization in Texas that stepped forward to take care of all. It may not be like give you everything, but at least give some guideline to looking for apartment, looking for place to stay and things like that. At that time, my family is over here in California. And they decide, well, why don't you come to stay with us in California? That when in May or late May 1981, we came to live in Long Beach. And our first apartment that we used to live off of Cherry and South Street, that was like first apartment ever that we shared together. And that's everything else is history. You know. When the fall of the beginning of Khmer regime, I was about 11 years old. 11 years old. Yeah. When you are at 11 years old, just think about the difference between the new generation at 11 compared to my generation at 11. It's just day and night. Just the fact that the first day I remember that Khmer took over the country, any metropolitan area, like the major city, like Battambang, there's a lot of population, a lot of people. You can see a group of Khmer, not only like one tank, but like several tanks. Drove through the city with everyone sit on top of it. Makes the announcement on a microphone or the PA system, tell them they are taking over. The fall of Luno or the democracy entity, they no longer take over the country. And first thing they do, this is the honest truth of everything, is that you have to turn in all your weapons. Just to think that back then weapon is like you can get whatever you want. Nobody really care or worry about what you own, what you have, things like that. But when they came in, first thing they do is to make the announcement, everybody turn in their weapons. And that's like 2 in the evening, like almost the middle of the night. They drove around looking for whatever they do. Because for me, 11 years old, you don't know what it's all about. But the fact that you see it, you heard it, and it makes you wonder what they doing. The next day, I walk around towns and things like that. You can see the Khmer all over, the soldier or the armies, whatever they consider themselves. They all dressed in black with the towel around their head, and they all carry weapons, except the general people. They turn in everything. I could see hundreds of AR-15, which is the rifle, all over. And anybody resists, they kill them right in there. No question asked. So that's the first sign of the dictatorship, my way or highway type of thing. So that is the fall in 1975. And then maybe a week later, the order came out that everybody had to leave the city. So in other words, nobody stay in the city. We all have to stay out in a side skirt of the city, or in a farm, or in a village, or whatever that, where you decide to go. For our family, we decided to go to my grandfather's hometown, which is about, I would say, 20 kilometers, 25, maybe 15 miles from where we stay. Because, let me go back a little bit in time before anything that happened. Every weekends, my uncle would come to pick me up, go stay at my grandfather's village, which is called Poom Chutil. That's just like a little village for my grandfather. My family was not very wealthy, but we up there. We kind of live comfortable. So we own a lot of land, a lot of farm, a lot of like farm of oranges, pineapple, and things like that. So every weekend, my uncle will pick me up and go stay there, or we ride a bike there. So that when they told us you have to vacate the city, that's where we go live, in that little village, and then slowly everything kind of tightened the knot slowly a little bit. They ordered this, a little bit they ordered that, so they put out orders as they go. Sooner or later, everybody will have to earn their keep. In other words, you have to go to work. You cannot sit at home except the older people. But from 5 to about 30, they all have to go to work unless you had kids. Even then, you have to go to work. So they slowly taken everybody away from family. So if you ask my younger sister, from what I could experience, I seen her doing, was to sit there or to stand on a rice field and scare the crow from eating the rice. For me, it's just amazing how you don't think about it because you're afraid that they're gonna kill you. You just do whatever they tell you. I never see my brother, my sister, or anyone except my younger sister. That's the only one I seen because she out in the field scarecrow, and I would walk to work every day. And I never see my older brother, my older sister. I never see them. I see my mom every so often, and that's just because they want you to stay in a group, in a camp, away from family. That's a first sign. And then when that area is finished, they send you the next project as you go all the way to the end. Far as I remember, one project that will have to go, like, I would say at least in the jungle, way up in the hill, because they were building a dam. So in other words, they want to generate or rice field all year round. In our country, we only do for so many months. April, May, June, when there's no rain, that's just a time to get the crops. That is like in the summer for us. But their philosophy, their idea is that if you build a dam that keep the water from going, so the water will go into a rice field that we can do it 24 hours, 7 days a week, or all year round. You see what I mean? So the idea is good, but it's not how you build a dam, not from a dirt. If you go to, like, say, in the United States, the dam was like 100 years old and old cement, and it still won't be able to hold the water. Imagine the dirt put on top of each other to expect to hold the dam, but it never happened. It didn't happen. It's a lot of people die because the dam collapsed. But that's the story that what I was building dam for the water, to generate the water for all year round rice field. If I remember, you work 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's very hard. I can't find a word to compare to what we do. You get up at 5 in the morning, you go to work at 6, you get off at 11, you eat, and you go back to work at 1, you get off at 5, then you go to bed. That's it. No entertainment, none, zero. I mean, to live in a dark world. The reason why I say the dark world, I don't even know what day and time or what month, what year. None. Because they cannot tell us anything but go to work in the morning, get off, eat, and go back to work every single day. It's just amazing how us as a human being learn to adjust in order to survive the hostile environment that they put us through. And to take a shower, brush your teeth, you don't have any toothbrush, toothpaste, or soap to wash yourself with. What you do, you burn the log as much as you can, and it becomes ashes. You take ashes and put in the water, and that makes a soap. You can wash your hair with it. You use that to brush your teeth, wash your hair, and you have 2 pairs of clothes, and that's all you have, and a towel and a hammock.
And go to work every day.
Every single day. No entertainment, nothing whatsoever. I just remember when it's all said and done, a bowl of rice with soy sauce and oil. It's so great. No, I'm talking about when it's all said and done. I think like the fall of Khmer, we came back, a bowl of rice, soy sauce, and oil. It tastes so good. It tastes so good, unbelievable. A group that we say, it's a group of 10 people. You go to work, and certain people that actually cook the food, they had a big pot like that. A rice, they gave us a cup of rice. They do a condensed milk. 1 cup, one can of those, it lasts for 10 people. So how much you get out of it? Zero, nothing. So what do? You put a big pot and pour it in there. Turn to liquid, nothing but liquid, and then a big pot of like a soup or something. I don't know what it's called, the yolk J. You're not young, but dolce. You cut up J and take all the outside out, the sleeve, and what was inside, you slide it and make a soup out of it. The whole small can like that for 10 people, so you all have nothing but liquid. That is one reason why when I got here, I was 110 pounds. That's nothing bone, nothing left. It takes me forever to gain all those weight back. So for 5 years is all you eat. Once a year, that it is like, they tell us, I don't know what day and time it is, they told us that it's the Cambodian New Year. Everybody will go into a big building. You know what the gift they give us is a bowl of rice. That's the most you get for the Cambodian New Year. It tastes so good because you haven't eaten in a long time. It tastes so, I can't believe it tastes so good. It's, you don't know what it's like until you in that situation, until you in that period of time, in that environment that you give a bowl of rice, you say, it tastes so good. It's unbelievable. So, for being 11 years old here, you got to see the movie, you got, today is a lot more, but even then, when I grow up, it wasn't like, let's say in the 80s, you got to play with the Tonka toys and the little cars or whatever. You got to hang out with your friends, you got to go to school. None of that stuff. So my teenager was robbed because by the time I got to the United States, I was almost 16. So I missed 5 years of my teenage, and then nothing but working and suffering and dealing with starvation malnutrition. You know, because we are young, our health's a lot more. You're not really sick a lot. You know, if you were to get sick, who can give any? But you know what? Would the best medicine is rabbit waste. You know, the little rabbits, a little pill.
Does heal your sickness?
Yes.
Oh wow, very acidic.
It is because it's all grass. They eat grass, so that's not really a lot. But that is the pill you take.
Oh.
So, I mean, luckily I don't get sick a lot. I mean, I'm pretty well healthy then.
Yeah.
But still, if you get sick or whatever, that's what you do. You take that. They don't care about us. In other words, it's just like the communists is the opportunity equal. In other words, everybody the same. So if you're gonna get married, like 10 couple get married at the same time. Mm-hmm. You eat the same food at the same time, the same whatever it is. That's called equal. So that's what communism is all about. It's everybody just got the same. So in other words, when you harvest your rice, everything's all go to government. The government give it back to you equally. So everybody got the same amount. So there's no rich, no poor. That's the difference between here and there. Here, the opportunity is open. You can, even though I was still a teenager, of course you don't speak any English when I first came. I got a little bit, but not a lot, not enough to go get a job. Yeah. So everything you depend on the assistance of the government. The government only give you so much enough to pay rent and buy a little bit of food here and there. And of course they provided food stamps. So our family was on welfare for a little bit. But when you get on your feet, you move away from there because welfare is just a temporarily supplemental for you to get back on your feet. So growing up without a job, because it's just everybody the same now. Everybody start fresh. My brother don't have a job. Sister, my mom and dad don't have a job. So you have to depend on the government to help you out while you get on your feet. I went to high school. I went to Lakewood High School in 1982. I graduated my diploma. I was really fortunate that I was able to keep up with it, and a lot of tutors, a lot of support from classmates and everybody. I was able to graduate from my high school diploma. Those are most important is you have to have the high school diploma. Whether it is high school diploma or GED, one of the two, but those things you have to have. That is the most important thing. When I graduated in 1982, if I can remember correctly, it was June 17, 1980, first day out of high school. I get a part-time job as the janitor, cleaning for the city of Long Beach. It's just a part-time job in the summer to keep me going, to earn your paycheck a little bit. It's not a lot, just enough to buy certain things. And then fall of 1982, when I started to go to school at the college, at Long Beach City College, and that's where I began my career. That's when I earned my first time. It's a part-time job and then become a full-time job. And it take a few years to get in, because in the early 80s, it's a little bit different than today, a lot different in terms of get a job, get your minimum wage type of job. It's tough. So my first goal, my first job ever was they call it a cadet. You work for a police department. Your job is to go out there, taking a report and dealing with people, lock themselves out, go help the student, whatever the case may be, just to get my foot in the door and go to school. By then, my English was a lot better. I was able to communicate with a lot of people, not so much in terms of up there, but the general public, I was able to deal with them effectively. I became a CSO about 2.5 years later after I get my education. The CSO, what they call a community service officer. In other words, you don't do anything but to go out there and do general work for the police department. And then they move on to 1988, 89. I put myself through the academy. In other words, you have to get your education with a law enforcement side, which is like police academy type of thing. Make yourself more marketable if you have the training already. In other words, let's say you go apply for the job that will require training. You go apply, you don't have anything, they have to send you to school to get that training, correct? But since you already have it, it makes more marketable for you. That way they cut down all the costs that have to send you, the time, the training. You just go straight to work. So that's how I became a police officer for the school district. I put myself through the academy. So make myself more valuable to them than spend the money to send me through the academy. So you have to kind of do whatever it takes to make yourself more valuable. So, and then that's when my career began from there. Yeah, and I've been in law enforcement for going to 35 years, and I've been doing that for a long, long time. And I worked with 3-4 different agencies, and it takes a lot of effort, a lot of work, a lot of learning to fit in an organization that's strictly dealing with people that born here and raised here. So just think about you are the first generation, right? Your English is not 100%. A lot of, like you have to study twice as hard to meet their expectation. You know what I'm talking about? So in other words, if you go through the training, it's not that you can't compete. You're just as good, probably better sometimes. But you have to do twice as hard. You have to learn twice as hard to be able to keep up with them. So I am very fortunate that I was able to compete within a big organization. I was the reserve deputy for LA Sheriff, was the biggest sheriff in, I would say, the world, that deploy at 11, 12, 13,000 deputies, the whole county, which is LA County. I was a reserve deputy with them for 13 years, and I was able to do a lot of things. I got to see, to experience with different assignment per se. I was assigned to detective, patrol, and assisting with the narcotics. A lot of assignment I'd done, and before I left in 2003, I was a range master, which is more like qualified to deputy to shoot. So I done so many different assignments, and I was very fortunate that I used that experience to go apply somewhere else and make you a better candidate. And currently, I still work for the Desert Hot Springs Police Department for 16 years now, so it's about time for me to hang it up. And currently, that's my part-time position or reserve position with the Desert Hot Springs. And I work full-time with the school district, where I pretty much enjoy doing it for the last 20 years. You know, I was very fortunate that I don't move very often. You know, we live on Cherries and South, and then I think in if I'm correct, I'm not sure, don't quote me, in the late 80s to 90, we bought a house in North Long Beach, and my family bought a house there off 70th Way. That's where I stayed most of my life. And then I got married in 1991, late 91. And then we moved to live in the east side of Long Beach. And unfortunately, that we got a divorce with my ex, and I have 2 kids, 2 girls. They all adult now. They move on to live on their own, and then I got married to my wife here, and we've been together almost 5 years. And I mean, that's so far at present time, just her and I. That's it. We don't have anybody else. I have brothers and sisters, but they all live there on their own. But for being my family, it's just my wife and I. Yeah. You know, my mom and dad would, well, in today's society, do not consider as old. But when you came from a third world country, back then you don't have medication, you don't have the medical technology like today. So my mom and dad gotten sick, and they passed on in early age. So they couldn't get a job, they couldn't do it, but they depend on welfare. Not very long. I mean, 81, my mom, I think in 89 she passed away, so only like a few years and before she passed on. And my dad, so those period of time, since they are not, I would say, that they gravely sick, but they are sick, so they can't go get a job. So we all supporting them somehow, not that we. And she depend on some of the welfare, and we support them, live together. The reason that, because if you live together, you cut down a lot of costs. You know what I mean? So we may be a lot crowded, but at the end of the day, you don't pay $1,000 for a rent. You combine your, and then make it a lot cheaper, easier. You know, so my brothers and sisters, they all went to school, get the education, get a job, and be independent, basically. I mean, just to bring back a little bit of memory that when I was in high school, I mean, of course, we don't have a lot of money. We all depend on my family, my parents, and from the welfare. And for us to get clothes, we have to go to the Purple Heart, the one on South and Downey. South and Downey. There's a little used clothes store that we go shop. I mean, that's the best you can do. I mean, cheap, 50 cents, $1, whatever it is. That's what you go get clothes to wear. You can't afford to go to the mall because you don't have money. And I remember one time my mom and dad was sending me to go do the laundry. I mean, a couple of baskets of laundry. They gave us like $3. I mean, there's the only way you get 25 cents out of it is to put a lot more clothes in one load. Instead of 3 loads, you'll make 2 loads. So you save a couple, like 50 cents, you'll get a potato chip or something. I swear to God, this is, I don't know why we have to go through this. It's tough. You go collecting cans and bottles, and you see food, but you're hungry. It doesn't matter. You're gonna eat it, And it's very devastating that you have to do that. I mean, we have so much, but then again, when you can't afford it, that's whatever you can. You eat what you can just to survive. It brings back a lot of things that we done when we was in communism. I actually want to bring you one example. We have a group of 10 people, and my grandfather has a little shack that even though he was old, they sent him out to stay there to watch the potato. The potatoes that they grow into the ground, that's called the loco. Yeah, it grow into the ground. It's a long tree, and the root is underground. Our goal is to go somehow take a couple of them, so we can burn them or cook them on the fire you put underneath, and it cooked that way. So our goal is to try to steal them without them knowing that we steal them. So one thing about that type of fruit or food, or whatever the case they call them, if you cut the whole thing, the tree gonna die. So you cut just one. So the tree's still the same, the fruit's still down there, but they don't know that it was being stolen. You just take one, not the whole thing, because the tree gonna die, then they know something happened. And that particular night, one of my friends went to the village and stole a chicken. And he brought it, and my grandfather went home, and the shed belonged to us, so we cook and eat and having a good time, because, I mean, even the whole chicken, we can split 10 people. It's just got a little bit of taste. It tastes so great. The next day, we went to the shed, it's just right here, and the little place that we stay, it's just not too far from there. We could walk. The next day, someone snitched on him, told the people in charge that he stole the chicken. And I mean, I was so afraid that they're going to take us out because they're going to kill all of you. Unfortunately, they only take the guy that stole the chicken, and we never seen him again. They kill him because stealing is a crime. They not tolerate anything that you do. And, I mean, there's no such thing. No, you can't do it to me. I mean, if you find stealing something, they're gonna kill you. That's the bottom line. It's not rule, but that's just the way they operate. You know, that's the way they do it. That's just communism. That's just dictatorship. That's just my way or highway type of thing. It's not. There's no such thing as rule. They tell you what to do. You better do exactly what they told you, or they will take care of you. They will kill you. They will take you out or whatever. So we all live under a tactic of being scared. What they're gonna do to you, and if you compare today, that we learn so much, that we know what our constitutional rights are, and if it happened today again, let's say example, I seen people getting killed, thousands of people getting killed, and fortunately I'm not part of it. I just stay out of everything. I should be in a generic or general public type of thing. And I seen people, and they take them out to like a little field or something. They tell you to dig a hole, so they're gonna kill you. If it was today, if I were there, I'm gonna tell you, you can go pound sand. You kill me, I'm not gonna work for me so I can die. You can shoot me, I'm gonna fight back. See what I mean? So today you learn a lot of things. You don't just give up because they tell, well, dig the hole, and they're gonna bury you in that hole. But no, you're not gonna do that to me. You better shoot me, kill me. I'm not gonna dig my own hole. That's just, we learned so much today that we're gonna fight back for everything. We're not gonna let people walk all over you. You see, that's the difference. It's all come down to one simple thing, that education give you a lot of different paths, different way to accomplish your goal or your whatever you want to do. Yeah, knowledge. Like you learn today, if they tell me dig the hole, I'm gonna bury it. No, you're not. I'm not gonna dig no hole. I'm gonna fight back. I'm gonna be dead anyway. I'm gonna die fighting. You see what I'm talking about? So when you learn the knowledge, when you know the knowledge, and you know that whether you do it or not, you're gonna be dead. So I'm gonna, I can reflect back to a lot of things that I growing up. Just think about why we have racism, why we have so much violence. It depends on what geographic area that you lived in. I can bring back so many people. When I first started in law enforcement, I deal with a lot of Asian community, and the reason why the violence is happen because you live in the community. Let me try to give you the example. When I grew up, I'm always afraid of committing, like breaking the law. If you live in a environment that you're afraid of doing anything wrong, you always walk the straight line. Correct? If the speed limit is 65, if you stay within the speed limit, you don't have to worry about the CHP pulling you over. You don't worry about speeding. You don't have to look around. You just go straight on your speed, stay on your speed limit. In today's society, every single day, if you don't believe me, ask my wife. Even though I can get away with it, example, if I were to get pulled over, they might let me go, they might not. I mean, that's just sometimes it's a courtesy thing. But I still obey the speed limit. Because one simple reason, I don't have to worry about the CHP pulled me over. I don't worry about breaking the law. I'm just stay at speed. So it's the same thing in terms of you growing up. If you stay within a society or a group or an environment that teach you to stay within a guideline, pretty rare that you get into any trouble. I live in Long Beach for many years, but I don't do anything to break the law, to hang out in a different group, hang out with the gang, things like that. That's how you become violent, because territories is, like this is my area, this is my whatever, fighting, they end up getting into a violent. Now, consider racism, it's a little bit different. I never have any issues with it. Never have any problem dealing with anyone. Because the form was that I respect everybody equally. They could be poor, they could be homeless, but I still consider them a human being. I respect them. One simple word go a long way. It's just like, even though he's the homeless, does not mean that you disrespect him. You still, if he's an older, elderly gentleman, say ma'am or sir, I'm sorry, whatever it is. One simple word, it can go a long way. You know what I mean? It's so much, even though, let's see, you're probably a lot younger than me, right?
Definitely.
And I would call you ma'am. I'm because it's a communication of today's society. I mean, we have to do that. I respect her. I call her ma'am. I call my wife, and thank you, whatever. It's simple word. It go a long way. And Viet Khmer, if I can remember, it's a talk in night, fly in one. Yeah, it's so simple. You lend a hand. Hey, can I give you a hand to bring you up? Say thank you. It doesn't cost you nothing. It doesn't cost you anything. That means you're showing respect. So with that in mind, people don't think you are racist. Yeah. You see what I'm talking about? They look at you as a normal, regular, everyday people, right? Now, when you call the name, you walk out there and say, you spit at them. Not only that it consider racism, but it could relate to being racist, and I mean you disrespect them. We all human beings. We all human. We all learn how to live together. That's the beginning. That's the beginning. Yeah. My only message I want to share with everybody is this: live your life the way you want to live. Respect the people. And we respect you. You have to show respect in order for people to respect you. The most important thing of everything that's going on today, stay in school, get educated. Because knowledge go a long way. Because I bring prime example because a lot of kids, they don't have education that turn out to be, in order to get a better job, good job, you need education, you need degree, you need some sort of education, because if you're going to go, example, if you go to sit on an interview, if you don't know how to communicate with the people that interview you, they can look, well, we can't use you. Okay, very simple, very, very simple. If I go sit on an interview, like I told you before, that how would you do if this thing occurred all the time? How you prevent it? If you have experience, if you have knowledge, if you learned something, you can use that. So this is the method I'm looking to implement, but it may not work for all of us, but I'm going to give you the example of it. If you have knowledge, you have no problem answer that question. So stay in school, get educated. Education is very, very important, and it gives you a better path for your future. I promise you that. Because one more example, I learned throughout my career that when you're able to, let me rephrase it back. If you go to school, you're going to learn a lot of things, especially in English, right? Example, I could talk to every one of you. You probably understand me, even though my grammar, my punctuation, or my sentence may not be complete, but you understand me, correct? But when you write a sentence, even though you try hard because you don't understand, or maybe you're not able to write good English, whatever the case may be, you write it, you submit it, people are going to read it and they don't understand. They're going to read over and over and over again and say, no, this is wrong. It's not how it works. Speaking, talking, it's like after you speak, you're done. You can review it. Writing, they can go back and read it over. Oh, you missed the comma here. You missed the S. You missed the ED here. You missed the duh or the A. They read it over and over and over again. But if you're good in English, if you're good in writing, you can read it and it sounds perfectly. And then you should turn it in. Even though you missed one mistake, maybe like you forgot the A, it still sounds good. But if you don't know how to do it, it doesn't make any sense. So education is very, very important. That is my last message to everyone out there. If you can stay in school, get educated. Degree, it don't have to be a doctorate degree. Get a bachelor, AA degree, AS degree, whatever the case may be. Even the diploma, get the diploma. High school diploma is the beginning of your career. Without it, you can't go anywhere. So thank you for giving me the opportunity here. And I hope I can share my experience that will kind of, you understand a little better everything. And again, like I said, this experience, my life experience, it's all related to me. I can't speak for anybody else. So if anything that I said that maybe offend you, I apologize. Because it is what it is. I'm telling you, everything that I said is 110% truth. Nothing changes. For all the job that I've done for the last 35 years, I can back it up. I can show you all the evidence that I've done it for many years, for all this time. So thank you so much.